Huang Zheng of CCTV.
Sino siya?
Huang Zheng of CCTV, Mr. President.
Yeah, I know.
Yellow, in other words.
I have to explain because my family name in Chinese, Huang, means yellow.
Yeah,
So that's why I choose this as my nickname.
Okay.
Sir, we would like to back to your China trip because in the Belt and Road Forum, President Xi said that this initiative comes from China but belongs to the whole world. And I know your government launched your Dutertenomics in Beijing. It seems use this Belt and Road Forum as a platform to show Philippines to the world. So I would like to know what's your comments about this Belt and Road Forum this time.
Actually, the road there is on the right side of the map. If you look at the Philippines, that would really be the international sea. So there's a road there. It's just imaginary, but the gates towards Indonesia down to Malaysia and maybe towards Australia starts in the Philippines. That's the imagined route. I don't know the other side of what was the presentation. But one thing is very clear to me, that they have the money and they want to share it. The rationale behind it is really China would want a peaceful region because a peaceful region translates into more prosperity for China. And China is very liberal and generous. And as a matter of fact, I would not want to. I will do it in an official pronouncement. But we already had about 100 million coming in, and they have promised us something like another 500 million. And of course, they are starting to. It's in the blueprint. I don't know at what stage it is, but they will start on the 2 bridges that will span the Pasig River. These 2 bridges are gratis. It's a grant. It's no payment, sort of a donation. But the other projects, the railway, they are very eager to start. They want to start this year. And I hope that everything will go on smoothly. At least before the end of the year, we see an effort on both sides to start on the project. We have always been very thankful to China for its generosity. And your presence here is one indication that we're doing all right.
Thank you, sir. May I have a follow-up about, because today you also meet with President Xi and our Prime Minister Li Keqiang in China, and we also sign a lot of documents. So since your last state visit to China, from now to already over half a year, so how can we make this, how can we turn this kind of documents and commitments into actions more efficiently in the Philippines?
No, they're using the banks. Actually, what the grant is money. If it is a grant like the bridge, they will say it's gratis. But the money has, makano yung? And, the banks come in, and there is the money. And if you are a businessman from China or anywhere, anyway, it's a bidding, you can participate. And we would have no objections of Chinese corporations participation in the bidding. Anyway, they're also businessmen. But we get the most of the bargain. And the money has been coming in already. To date, almost 100. No, I cannot give you the exact amount, but it's already here. 3 months ago, the money was already here and ready for use. It's a matter of the projects of the Philippine Authority announcing the bidding or the start of this project, and that is really business. Part of the money coming in is, I said, grants, which means we do not have to pay. But most of the infusion of is really for, you have to deal with the banks. So if you're a Filipino, you are engaged in a business and you want to start medium or small industries, all you have to do is go to the bank. Or we can get the money and through DTI, and our agriculture is back to normal. We have a increase of 2 billion. Yes, sir. We're back exporting. My country is back exporting banana and everything that we can sell to them, to your country, and that is good. But in the past, we were almost being suffocated. I don't know why, but it could only mean that there was a question about ideology, and I don't know if it's really the vote now, but that should not be the case anymore.
Thank you so much, sir.
Good morning, Mayor. I'm Ruth Dumandan of RGMA Davao. Mayor, the Save Sulu movement is calling on you to declare martial law in 6 municipalities of Sulu because of the problem brought by the ASG. What's your thought on that, Mayor?
I need time to ponder on it deeply, and it is not only a political decision, it is an emotional decision. You do not tinker with the powers of extraordinary powers of the state. But I remember 2 months ago, when they were already throwing bombs in schools and planting IEDs in the high school. I issued a warning that do not force my hand to declare martial law, because if I do, I will solve everything. Not only about rebellion, I will solve everything that ails Mindanao. Pati na yung boundary sa lupa mo. I would not just tinker with it as if it's a plaything. It's a very serious one. But kung ako ang magmamartial law, there's no way of telling how long would it take us to restore order. Or we might not really be able to succeed. But just the same, I'm warning everybody that if I declare martial law, there is no telling how long would it be and for what purpose. I'm telling you now that I will not only decide to end rebellion, I will solve everything, I said, what's sick in Mindanao.
Second, Mayor, your expectation on the coming next round of talks in the Netherlands between NDF and the GRP?
I have been waiting for them. I'm ready. Nur Miswari is taking his time. I am not hurrying him up. DMI probably would be ready for talks. You know, I cannot proceed with the structure and even the provisions or the proposals without reading the Bangsamoro Transition Law. It will be useless exercise, actually. I have to have something which I can, craft on, and this is how it should be done in accordance with the Constitution. Always in accordance with law and the Constitution. O wala pa sa akin eh. Madali na yan kung ano eh. I'll just, I'm suggesting we copy the parliamentary type of France because doon you need a strong president but with very limited powers, mga 6 or 7. But because of the physical arrangement, overland, with so many islands there, and the contending sentiments now, initially you would need a president, a strong one, to take care of the republic. In due time, when we have almost total peace, then we can think of a pure parliamentary government, putting it entirely in the hands of the elected representatives of the people. But until such time, if I were to embark on a new government, federal at that, I would insist that I am out anyway, but you must have a strong president. Delikado pag wala. I would not agree to it. Things can go wrong, especially if there is too much power devolved on, we still have, little did we know that narco-politics was already here about 5 years ago. It was not until after I became president that we realized the gravity of the situation. It was not until after I had an access to all the records of government, and you saw now by the hundreds of thousands surrendering every day. And these guys, alam mo ang nangyari dito sa Amerika, pati sa EU, they played into the hands of the opposition. Pumasok sila doon sa, it was an issue sa campaign. But that, the issues in the campaign were carried on even after election. Just to do away with the president. Naglaro, and said they played into the hands of, yan ang nangyari. And, of course, yung affidavit na puro basura. Would you think I could ever order the killing of a child? Jesus Maria. If I have to do it, then I will resign. Really. Huwag sabi ka, patayin mo yung mga bata. Anong klaseng presidente ka kung gano'n?
Thank you, sir.